Welcome back to video 2 on this putting series. I know I enjoyed last one, right? Eye position is absolutely key. So today we're looking at what I think is the #1 tour drill for putting.
Definitely one of the most used, yeah.
A lot of people have seen it, but we probably don't understand what we're getting from it and how to set it up. So what are we naming it?
So this drill is basically going to help you work on consistency of your strike, so hitting the ball at the centre of the putter, which is obviously key. If we're not hitting it in the centre of the putter, just so people at home are aware, you probably notice it a lot when you're hitting a driver. If you hit it off the toe or the heel, you'll obviously feel the driver twist when that happens. The same thing does happen with a putter, even though it's maybe not as noticeable, that is still affecting how we can, obviously, our ability to start the ball on line. If I'm hitting it off the toe, likelihood is the face will twist open, vice versa off the heel, likely to close. So if we're not hitting the centre of the face, we're going to strike one of those tees there, which is set as a gate for the putter head at the back there. Here? Yep. Yeah. And then in front of that, we've got a ball gate for the start line. So if we are striking the ball at the centre of the putter and we're missing that initial gate, getting the putter straight through, if we're then hitting one of those gates with the golf ball, we know that the putter is either open or closed. So it's going to help us with start line and strike. So it's a great drill and something that I would recommend people do as often as possible in between sort of competition rounds and getting yourself prepared for the weekend for your competition.
Even as a warm-up, right? You could do it sort
of... I mean, personally, for me, when I warm up, if I'm playing a tournament, this is normally the first thing I do. And I go from about 3 foot to start with and just see if I can do 10 in a row, just to build a little bit of confidence and just make sure I'm happy with where I am before I get out on the course.
Interestingly, on that strike, I've had a lesson down here at the Mayor Golf Academy, and I always like start out the toe, but high out the toe. And I didn't even realise, but making those adjustments from the last lesson and then doing this drill, I've managed to get it more out the centre more often, and I feel very comfortable with the putter right now. So setting this up, we've got the mirror we had from last week.
Yep.
We then placed our putter head down, sorted out how wide the gate was for our putter head.
Yep.
And then did you have your alignment stick run through?
I used an alignment stick just to make sure it was straight in line with the target, which here this putt's breaking right to left, so we've set the mirror up once we knew the break. I've then put an alignment stick down, pointing the same direction as the mirror, and then put 2 tees down just a little bit wider than a golf ball. But to start with, I'd say if people are struggling with this, widen the gates. And then as you start to get better, make it narrower, make it more difficult. Don't make it too hard to start with. Build your confidence.
They look seriously narrow.
Yeah, that's pretty tough. You're going to have to hit a good putt here.
Okay, so I just want to touch on this because I think this is really important. As well as doing this drill, we're going to recommend maybe do it on a straight putt to begin with, then go right to left, then go left to right. But grip for me, like I've been a left below for a while, or actually, if I'm being truthfully honest, I was flirting between about 5 different grips. Yep. But I think going through the era of Jordan Spieth being a very good putter, and a lot of people may have transitioned to that. But what it was doing for me was it was getting me sort of shunting, wasn't it, a little bit? And
yeah, so it's a combination of what you were struggling with the eye position, which we talked about in the last video. The combination of that and that left below right grip was basically forcing you to have to open the face. And a lot of people go left below right because they're trying to reduce movement in their right hand. I think a lot of people, first of all, need to establish whether it is their right hand that's causing the trouble. I think a lot of people automatically assume that's what's happening when it might not be. So for Alex, once we'd fixed his eye position and looked at what his tendencies were, he was tending to basically twist the face open as he came through. So that sort of action he's demonstrating there. So we needed something to allow him to release the putter head more. So what I recommended him to do was to bring his right hand back below to a more traditional grip. And what that also allowed him to do was fix the forearm position in his left hand a little bit as well, because when he had the left below right, your forearm ended up being sort of quite locked and on top of the...
Come have a look at this, guys. This is really important.
Sort of ended up this way, sort of quite locked and on top of the putter. And then the action, that's very exaggerated, but just so you get the idea. And then we were seeing this action on the way through, so a sort of twist and lift of that left arm, which was making it very difficult for him to start the ball on line. And this drill last week, when we did that when I saw you a few weeks ago, you would have probably struggled a little bit with this to start with. Yeah, if you were set up correctly, then you would have likely to have hit it onto the tee on the right. So now with what we've done, with the changes we've made, let's see if you can start a few online now. So pressure's on now.
I've given it the big and saying how comfortable I feel. Right.
Okay. Another go.
That's actually a nice putt. I'm not going to get frustrated with that one. So the idea is, guys, take your time with this, get it set up correctly, because you don't want to start at the ball in a mismatched position.
Yeah, make sure everything's correct when you address it.
So, still time to enter the driver giveaway. Get your hands on a brand spanking new driver this summer. It's easy. How you enter: subscribe to the channel, like this video, and get in the comments down below what version you want. I'm gaming the LS, we've got the Max, and we've got the X. Get down in the comments. The winner is announced live tomorrow.
Very good.
Whew. I'm actually quite surprised.
That was great.
That.
Excellent.
Because, like, just to put this in perspective, let's have a look at this down here. This size of this is just wider than a golf ball. But you're saying that if you struggle with that, you'd go maybe just a little bit wider.
Just widen it slightly, yeah. I mean, you can buy gates to do this. You don't need to buy the gates, but there's different widths of gates. Even if, you know, when you see guys on tour doing it, they might start with a wider gate to start with. If they're struggling, then narrow it down. So this, I'd recommend that for any ability level. Just find where you are, get good at the level you can do to start with, and then gradually work your way up and make it more difficult. But don't start, you know, too difficult. You want to build your confidence at the end of the day. We don't want to get less confident over it. So yeah, make it straightforward to begin with, then gradually work your way up to something a bit more difficult.
So nice and simple. Try the #1 tour drill, in our opinion. Hopefully it improves your putting. And next week, we've got another tip coming from Jordan here about a nice alignment stick drill that I've been using every single week to help me improve my putting. Thanks for watching, and thanks for coming up.
Perfect.